Hey guys, this is Steve again. Wolfpack. Told you I had another video in me. I just didn't know how to word it, and I didn't really know what to say. I've got two computers that are working. I know. Figure that shit out. I'm dangerous. Anyway, I wanted to post the truth. I wanted to actually get you guys to understand why I'm so passionate about my country and why that I actually make videos. I don't make videos for any monetary gain. I don't care about the money. What I care about is getting the message out to individuals that may or may not know what's really going on. And fake news, I don't participate in that. If I don't know for sure, then I'll never tell you that. I want to share with you guys a true story, and I hope that after you listen to this, that you will share this with others. My hope and goal is basically simple. I just want to know people to understand what's happening in my county and in my town. For those of you who say I'm not going to be interested, well, hold on. Buckle your seatbelts, because this actually happens in the United States of America. I'm going to look over here because I got to read this to you. In September of 2014, a veteran called the Veteran Helpline to seek advice and direction on how to deal with an item that had triggered him. He was instructed by the U.S. Army Hospital of Madigan at Fort Lewis, Washington. If he or she would experience any issues on his release from treatment, he should call this number and ask to receive help. After talking with the veteran, she asked what medications he was trying or he was taking per doctor orders. The caregiver then took more over the conversation in order to provide the list of dosage to the counselor. Caregiver, they have all that information. Sometimes veterans forget. The counselor advised that transport to a medical facility to monitor the veteran and provide necessary treatment. It was decided that the best way would be to escort the ambulance by ambulance so his vitals could be monitored as he had traveled. It was agreed to stand by and wait for the ambulance. Next, officers from the Angelina County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Greg Sanchez, his department, along with constable from the Huntington, Texas Police Department, ensured the caregiver they were just there to monitor and ask to talk to the veteran. At this point, the officer became tackled on entering the home. A light was shined directly in the veteran's face to blind him and disorientate the veteran. They did not identify who they were, and they did not have a warrant. The veteran, blinded, was ordered many times by officers to, quote, put your hands up, get your hands in front of you, put your hands on your head. This further confused the veteran. He was then told to get up. The veteran was in a recliner with the footrest up. He told police officers that he needed to disengage the footrest by using the lever on the side in order, once again to go to the side. In other words, levers here, you have to, I don't know if you guys know, I don't want to digress from this. Okay. Once again, the statement by the officers was to get up. The individual also said, once again, I cannot get up until I disengage the footrest. The officer did not care. Once again, the officer stated, get up. Still unheard, the veteran took note of the tone in the officer's voice and the tactical procedures that were actually being employed, and did put himself at risk. This was putting himself at risk. He was very aware that if he reached for the handle, he would proceed to attack him. Okay, but he was very aware that if he reaches for the handle, this would be considered a threat, and deadly force was a possibility. He attempted to do so and was told to stand up. This 100% disabled veteran with no cartilage in his knees took too long to get up. He was immediately pulled to the floor. The veteran was then tased with 50,000 volts, and the veteran was actually unable to move. He was then placed in a chokehold by Deputy Michael Powell, where he lost consciousness. When he came to, He was cuffed, and he asked what he was being charged with. They said, "You know what he did." I don't know. I gotta get down here a bit more, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want to make this all. Okay. Meanwhile, the caregiver remained on the phone. Her view was intentionally blocked by officers. The counselor heard the whole thing, and yet it was recorded. The veteran then was taken to the Lufkin jail, where he was not booked. Pictures were taken of his injuries and noted by the jailer at the time. The veteran was thrown into a holding cell. The caregiver called and asked if she could post bail to take the veteran to a medical facility. Since the veteran had not been booked, they were told that he was not there. The veteran lay on the floor, unable to move, and was not checked and was not questioned to the extent of his injuries. There was no one that checked on him. He just laid there for 12 hours on the cold floor, no food, unable to get to water. He laid there. He then was awakened 12 hours later and addressed to come on, we're going to get you some help. He was transported by a police vehicle, not an ambulance, to the nearby facility to determine his mental health. The officers were fully aware and made it perfectly clear by the caregiver that he suffered from chronic PTSD. He had been diagnosed this by the U.S. Army and actually Madigan Hospital in Fort Lewis, Washington. This veteran has now been charged 4 years later with resisting arrest and/or transportation. His trial has been delayed for 8 months. Seems the county attorney has an issue with discovery. Now the veteran faces trial on different cases at the same time. He will once again, as each month, go to the court, represent himself, because a request for a public defender was denied. He will stand there, but nothing to tell from the truth. Nothing to tell the truth. His loyalty, dedication, and service to his country demands that of him. He will not lie. He will tell the truth. So in the end of this story, the veteran will stand trial for only doing what he was instructed to do by the Army and personnel at Madigan Hospital, his doctors. Every physician that this veteran has talked to, including his current primary care physician and also his mental health provider, they remind that individual, if something's happening, you don't know what's going on, before you get to that level, call for help. This veteran will stand trial. It will go to court. It's been 8 months, 2014, that they're going to bring these issues up again. The veteran did not file a complaint. That veteran was just happy to be home out of the mental facility, where he stayed for excess of 72 hours due to paperwork. The veteran also then experienced, the fact is that recently he learned that the medical records was requested by the county attorney's office to the medical facility. The county attorney's office failed to mention the fact is that it violates HIPAA regulations. They need a subpoena from a court to be able to do that. No subpoena has been provided. These medical records, illegally approved, illegally received, violate HIPAA regulations. The judge has not made a determination on this because it hasn't been heard in 8 months. The judge has allowed the prosecutor to go on for 8 months without any discovery. Each time it's set for trial, the individual, the veteran, shows up and then nothing is done. The issue came up and asked by the judge to the county attorney, well, what's going on with the discovery? The county attorney said, oh, well, we made a mistake. We forgot to call the facility. For 4 years, they forgot to call the facility. Keep in mind that the fact is just that mere request of actual medical records violates HIPAA regulations, and they should know that. The medical records that they have on record did not come from the facility. I guarantee you that. I actually called to confirm. They were the one, when released, the veteran was told somebody had called and asked for your records. The veteran replied, "Who was it?" The answer was, "We don't care. They cannot get it without court order." That's personal. That's private. Apparently, a county attorney does not abide by the law. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised that I would make this video short and sweet because I don't want to get to where I'm actually making long videos and boring people. But I challenge you and I ask for everyone who reads this story, for everyone who's found fault in this, or if you find that the veteran was has somehow did wrong, please comment in the section. I ask any of the individual that are subscribers to my channel, and I invite all to subscribe to my channel, I ask you, please share the story. The purpose of this video is simple. This should not be happening to anyone. This type of behavior, this type of treatment should not be being permitted to be used on any citizen. Why does an officer deem it necessary to shock an individual with 50,000 volts and render him immobile, but also use a chokehold, which is banned? There are no regulations for a chokehold. They are banned, period. Since when did officers not get that word that you can't use that technique anymore? Since when are officers allowed to perform these techniques they're not properly trained on? When asked for records on disciplinary actions for the named Sheriff's Deputy Michael Powell when he was employed with the Angelina County Sheriff's Department through the Freedom of Information Act, Greg Sanchez denied it, but that wasn't public information. Every information that you request on this officer, Michael Powell, will not be released. We have no record of training. We have no record of knowing who this individual is. We don't even know if we don't even know if he's actually a real cop. Put it that way. But they are allowed the sheriff's deputies to roam the streets and inflict this type of abuse on everyday citizens. I ask you to share this because it's 100% the truth. This is what happens to you when you call for help. No wonder the American people are shy about calling officers or calling 911 or calling something to action when they actually need help. Because in the back of everyone's mind, even my viewing audience, in the back of your mind, you know that it can go south with an officer. It can be intention to where you don't say sir, or you don't say sir in the right way, or you have an attitude, or you're not showing the proper respect. Any of these things can get you thrown in jail. Well, thrown in jail? No. Yes. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if I said in my previous post, cops are not your friend. At any time, at their discretion, if they want to, you just become resisting arrest. Just by your mannerisms or your actions. Because you're not giving proper respect. My feelings on that is where I come from the Marine Corps and the United States Army. No matter how many stripes I had on my shoulder, my respect was earned. I didn't expect it from my soldiers or my Marines. I showed them that I could, everything that I asked them to do, I could do myself, and I could do it better. And I made fact of that. They respected not the individual, they respected not his rank, even though the rank does have its privileges, I guess. But it's more important to actually respect the individual before you represent the rank. These are the type of officers we got patrolling the streets. These are the ones that I've talked about that are the 10%. These are the 10% of guys who don't be carrying a gun, not less even wearing a badge. People come out and say I'm anti-cop. No, I'm not. I just fully realize that one good cop should be given a pay raise, and the other three, are a waste of time. For officers, I understand the pain, because of the fact is, number one, is that you have to deal with this reputation that others put on you, and you're in a difficult spot. If you go to your higher authorities, you're going to be shunned. If you pass on information of wrongdoing in your unit, you're going to be ostracized. For those individuals, cops, they deserve the respect, and you'll know them, you'll see them. You can tell the difference. But out of 10% of the officers, there's 10% that out there that just ain't worth a flip. That are actually acting under the color of law. If there's not a law, then they'll make one up. This is why I'm passing it. Because the fact is, I hope I do not read or do not hear of another instance of this happening, not only to a veteran, but also a citizen. I see it all the time. Luckily, there's people out there that are on YouTube that actually post these videos, and they actually are on Cop Watch. They relay the information, and they relay the truth information is actually what's really going on with the cops. For all cops that are upstanding, have high moral values and integrity, they know the difference. It's a damn shame there ain't more of them. I would much rather have one trained officer on the street that knows the law and knows his job and takes it seriously. Looks at his job as looks at his duties as not just a job, but looks at it as a profession. Goes out of his way to keep up on the laws. Puts himself in situations where how he would act. And demand training from his superiors. That's the kind of officer we need on the streets. I've just given you an example of what we get. So, to all the officers, I understand the job that you have. It's difficult. I used to do the same kind of job I didn't do it all the time, but anyway, once in a while I had to be in charge of freaking prisoners. They had their rights too, according to the Geneva Convention, so I had to monitor those. And I had to know the law, I had to know what they could, what they couldn't do, and I had to take classes on it. We need to better educate our cops on how to deal with the citizens. For our good officers out there, they're welcome. They will welcome the challenge. They will welcome the training because they want to get better at the job. And at the end of the day, when they come home after their shift, they sit down and drink a cold beer and say, you know what, I did my job today. There's one little thing in the back of their head, if they're a good officer. What could I have done better today that I didn't do? What situation could I handle differently to have a better outcome? That's a professional. That person, that officer deserves damn respect. So, this instance that I just shared with you, I hope that you'll take it to heart. I hope that you'll go through it and listen to it over and over again to see where this veteran was wrong. Or maybe you can offer some input on what the individual that's caught in a situation like this, what can be done to avoid the end result. I fail to see, and I hope for your input, but I fail to see where the veteran did anything wrong. I fail to see how calling and asking for help can actually turn into a tactical situation. What transpired to make it from a humanitarian mission to a tactical situation? It's a prime example of officers using escalation of force. So I call on officers of the law. I call the boys in blue. I call for all you individuals who are actually wearing the badge today. There's one more thing that's being required of you. You've got a lot on your plate. You can't root out your own people. It'll make your force better. And it'll make your profession better. In the long run, let me ask you a question. Is that cop who is acting under the color of law, did you trust him with your life? So it may come down to it. Or is that individual, I'm out me, buddy, you're on your own. I'm just playing cop. I don't really want to be one. So this is not an anti-cop video. This is just an observation of how cops can make their unit better and get more respect and actually be eager to get your job done. Everyone is not a criminal. They shouldn't be treated as such. They are innocent until proven guilty. You do not have the right to make that determination on your arrest. The judge will punish them. Or the judicial system should punish them. That gives you no right because you've seen somebody yesterday get out on a technicality to go ahead and abuse or beat somebody else because you want to make sure they learn their lesson. You're not the judge, you're not the jury. Don't abuse your power. If you don't abuse power, guess what? More power will be given back to you because people respect you. Please share. Please comment on this section. In the comments, I'm actually going to go ahead and leave once this is posted. I'm going to leave the individuals you can talk to. Call and ask why they let this happen. Or you can take it from there. I've posted on Gab. I've tried to get these individuals to participate. But it's very difficult to get the message out, especially when it's true. I fail to believe that America has actually come to the point to where, you know what, we'll believe fake news over the truth. When a person comes and said and documented actually what happened to them and the truth as they know it, because they were there, there's somebody you need to be listening to, because that's what's really going on. I promise you that you'll get that from my channel. If I don't know, I'll ask you. As I always say on these videos, I ask for your opinion. Your opinion matters to me. I think it is very important for me to read and to understand where everybody's point is, because it makes me have a better education of everybody around the world. It makes me expand my mind. It makes me expand myself. The fact is, you know what, there's other people out there and they're going through the same thing or something similar, and maybe I can help. There are a few citizens out there who still want to help. There are a few citizens out there who still want to contribute. There are still citizens out there that actually care about what the hell happens to their country and they realize that their government starts right in their own backyard. School district, school board, city council, because that message passes upward. You cannot beat the individuals who are appointed to office, but you dang sure can expose them. If you haven't realized yet that one of the ways you can actually participate is, number one, it's like, you know what? Utilize the Freedom of Information request. Freedom of Information request. It's easy. All you got to do is put the top part section 552 of the states of the United States. I'm entitled to these documents, and you need to get it to me within 10 to 15 days. If not, guess what? Let it go to the district. If they start getting enough freedom of information, don't you think that they're going to be more transparent? Second thing is call them. Call them on the phone. Email them. Ask them the question. Because the days of a politician coming up there and saying what you want to hear, that's got to be over with. It's time for these politicians to put something into action that we can sink our teeth into, whether it be gun control, whether it be all these investigations, whatever it may be. They need to do their job. Trey Gowdy, sorry, brother, but I love to see you operate somebody on that witness stand, but please shut up if you ain't got no proof and you can't put them in front of a grand jury. If you don't have the balls to go all out and say this person needs to go in front of a grand jury, shut up. It's propaganda. And it's making the American people believe that there's actually somebody looking over for us and you ain't done nothing. For every representative that gets on that TV and grandstands and actually grills these people on the other side, possibly they deserve it. Most time they deserve it. But to make all these accusations of these individuals and then start bringing up all these questions, I'm asking you, when are they going to be held accountable? Mr. Congressman, you got the power over every citizen in the United States. We're at your beck and call. When do these people start being held accountable? Please, somebody answer me that. If you can't prove it, shut up. If what you're actually saying you can't put in front of a grand jury and let them make a decision, then shut up. Do not rely on the American people anymore to be at your beck and call and vote for you when you need us. Once every 2 or 4 years, that's when we get contacted. Oh, please vote. Can you contribute? Can you do all this or whatever? Well, if I was in Carolina, the first thing I'd be at Trey Gowdy's office. Just an example, but anyway, many of them, when they call, what have you done for me? What have you done for the working man? What have you done for me? Where can I see your impact somewhere and how it affects my county, your district? What have you done for us lately? Well, I supported it. I don't give a shit if you support it. I don't give a shit. I got an athletic supporter. That's all I need. I don't need another supporter. I need somebody that's going to do shit. Well, I'll stand up for it. Show it. Prove it. I stand up for civil rights. Well, show it. How did you do it? I'm rambling because I'm pissed off about this story. Just so you know. I think I've alluded to it a couple times, but anyway, it happened to me. The reason why these things are happening, this happened to me, and the reason why they brought it up after 4 years is because I went to a city council meeting. I go to city council meeting. I was witness to an ordinance that was getting ready to be passed, presented by the mayor. This ordinance, as stated, as they were writing it, because it was going to pass, because they were stating right in front of them, and there wasn't really nobody there but me. This ordinance they were getting ready to put into motion stated little girls cannot play softball on Sundays. It's bad for our parents, and they need to be in church. Now, I don't care what your religion is, but I'm sorry. I know some of you get tipped off about that, and hair stands up on, because you know what? It ain't your damn job to tell me when my kids need to be in church. They're my kids. I don't need you telling them that they need to be in church. What gives you the power to start mandating what people shouldn't be doing on a daily basis? Or even imply that if you're in a government. Position. For all of you, I know that there's people going there, well, what the hell about, well, yeah, I know, church and state, boom, discrimination, boom, sexism, boom, because it didn't say nothing about little boys now. The lawsuit ready to happen. I merely told them, sir, you can't do that, you're breaking the law. They had to table that motion. They didn't cancel it. They just tabled it, so you know what? Next time there's nobody there at the city council meeting, they can go ahead and pass it. Interrupting a meeting. Well, first you have to be warned, don't you? So you're out of order. I see it all the time on TV, They don't make that shit up. You can't make that shit up. Sir, you're warned. If you do it more time, I'm going to kick your butt out the curb. I'm not going to arrest you, but you're out of here. Go calm down and get the hell out of here. But here it's calls for arrest, for you to be arrested. Because you doubted to speak up. Because you had the audacity to speak up. Just another case example, individuals, people can, or is happening to you right now. The question is one thing, is that, what are we going to allow it? It starts with us. It really does. We are the last batch in the hole. We can't count on anymore somebody else to do it for us. We've got to get up and do it on our own. We've got to make our voice heard. And the best way to do that is for everybody to unite and have one voice. One voice, one message, and you know what? After that message gets across and they do something about it, guess what? Tomorrow we got another damn message. We got one more voice. People in the government will react whenever they see people outside their damn office or emailing them every damn day about the same damn subject. Pretty soon they're going to have to address it. And God Almighty used the press. We got freedom of press, by God. You send an email on every damn thing that you think is crooked or whatever. Send an email. Because I'll tell you how you can do that. You know how you people come out after they get a award and a decision at the court, they won a case or whatever. They want to thank their attorney. They want to thank everybody, and they want to. Then they ask the press, asking for a statement. Well, I'll tell you what I tell them. So I send every one of you an email will let you know what's going on, and you ignore it. So you want to interview? You wasn't listening then. You don't know the facts? Well, you know what? You don't want to hear them then. It wasn't newsworthy. Where it is now, so guess what? You ain't worthy. Make these people do the damn job. We got to stop with the lapdogs of the government taking the scraps off their table because the fact is we lack of print what they want them to print or say what they want them to say. To keep up their ratings and keep up their bylines. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. Let me rant. I ask you to listen to the story again. So to ask questions. Please share it. Please share it because somebody might listen. And that's what I hope for them every day. When I get up, maybe one day, somebody will listen. Hey, I know it ain't much, but hell, people got to believe in something. I believe the American people can do this. I believe America. I got more faith in American people than they have in themselves. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, you got to make a stand. You got to pick a side. Either way you go, I'll stand up. You know what? I respect it because at least you have enough balls to make a stand. You know, it takes this is Wolfpack. Please share this. Please share this on Gab. I'm going to share it every damn where I can. Hope you do the same. I'll leave the links and the people that you can contact. Just gotta stop people. Help.